The world of Skyrim is abundant with caves to explore, loot to plunder, and ancient shrines and ruins to find. Building on the previous games in the Elder Scrolls franchise, Skyrim takes the experience to new heights with an insane amount of depth and detail layered throughout Tamriel. When creating this detail, Bethesda drew inspiration from more than a few notable real-life sources. You're probably familiar with the Spriggans, a race of tree-like creatures that can be found in the many dense forests of Skyrim, but you may be surprised to learn that they bear a striking resemblance to a creature of the same name from Welsh lore. In old folklore, Spriggans are depicted as beings that would be found guarding buried treasure in ancient forests and ruins. Like the Spriggans of Skyrim, they were to be crossed at one's own peril. It's actually surprising to see how often the idea of Spriggans comes up in the mythology and fiction of many other cultures, including the Greek Dryads, a race of tree nymphs, and of course, Ents. Speaking of fantasy, there's really no denying the effect that the Lord of the Rings films have had on the landscape of the genre, and Skyrim is definitely no exception. The city of Whiterun is believed to have been inspired by the Two Towers city of Edoras, the capital of Rohan. The layouts and appearance of the cities are very similar, and the hold of Dragonstone is elevated on a hill, exactly like Meduseld, the hold that King Theoden ruled from. Both places also bear the sigil of a horse on their banners. Other buildings within the walls of Whiterun are almost certainly influenced by Norse craftsmanship, and side-by-side photo comparisons quickly reveal the source material Bethesda was using when crafting their 5th Elder Scrolls installment. In fact, the towering mountains, mighty rivers, and golden plains surrounding cities like Whiterun were all modeled after Norway's breathtaking landscapes. The beauty and splendor of Skyrim's greatest vistas were ripped straight from the real-life panoramas of Norway's greatest mountain ranges. Beowulf, one of the oldest known pieces of writing in the English language, also made an appearance in Skyrim. High Hrothgar is thought to be named after King Hrothgar from the Beowulf story. In the story, another name King Hrothgar went by was Ro, which, funny enough, is one of the words used in Fusroda, a dragon shout you learn at High Hrothgar. Undoubtedly, Norse history and mythology played a huge role in the development of Skyrim. One example is the undead warriors known as the Draugr. Also found in Norse mythology, the name Draugr translated means undead man or ghost. According to the Old Norse legends, any especially evil or greedy person could become a Draugr after death, and awaken to an insatiable urge to devour human flesh or drink blood. To the Scandinavian people of the time, the threat of the Draugr was no game. They had many bizarre ways to ensure that a dead body would not rise to kill them, including lifting and lowering the coffin in 3 different directions to make sure that the potential Draugr would lose their sense of direction and not be able to find its way back to the village. I know that you already know that Sovngarde is a clear reference to Valhalla, the great hall Norse warriors found their way to after death. However, did you know that in several Scandinavian languages, Sovngarde translates literally to mean a place for sleep, or resting place? This is fitting considering that worthy Nords find peace there after death. The title of Jarl is also a reference to Norse mythology. Though it was never actually something that rulers were called, it is the name of the last man created by the Norse god Heimdall. In legend, the first man created, Thrall, represented the slaves and lower class. The second, Karl, represented the free man, and the third, Jarl, was the representative of the rich ruling class. A visual reference to the Celtic mythology is found in the game as well. The seal of Morthal looks very close to the Triskill design often found in Celtic artwork. As a matter of fact, Celtic knots and design can be found all over the game, right down to armor pieces and elements in the UI. Do you know some Skyrim historical or literary references we didn't cover here? Share them in the comment section below and we might include it in a future episode. If you like this show and its format, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And if you want to see the story of Skyrim retold in a totally new way with a little bit of comedy thrown in, check out my show Skyrim for Pimps on the GameSocietyPimps channel. This has been Aaron Yanda. Thanks for watching.